Welcome to Kirkland, Washington. In the final days of summer, this dirt diamond transforms into the epicenter of global youth softball. The Junior League World Series draws the best players on earth, putting them under the glare of international pressure and ESPN cameras. We want to quickly thank Shasta Unfiltered for sponsoring today's breakdown. They are dedicated to bringing honest news and entertainment to Northern California, keeping the spotlight on stories that impact the North State. The protagonists of our story are the Foothill Area Little League All-Stars. They're a squad of 12 to 14-year-olds representing Palocedro, a quiet California community that suddenly found itself navigating the global spotlight. Look at this tournament bracket. To understand the sheer mathematical improbability of reaching Kirkland, we have to trace this graphic all the way back to February. Those thousands of tiny starting nodes represent local leagues worldwide, all fighting through elimination rounds for a single ticket to the main event. For Foothill, surviving the bracket meant carrying the heavy weight of their own legacy. They were tasked with securing a second consecutive trip to the World Series, needing to prove to themselves and their fans that last year's run was the new baseline. In Palocedro, the expectation was to do more than merely compete. Navigating those local expectations while standing on a global stage provides a look at what happens when a small-town roster refuses to blink. To even pack their bags for Washington, Foothill had to survive a grueling summer schedule. Formed in mid-May, the roster tore through the district, section, and state tournaments before arriving in the desert heat of Tucson, Arizona for the Western Region Championship. In Arizona, the team dismantled the competition. They secured an unblemished 4-0 record, capping off the regional block with a commanding 12-3 championship victory. According to manager Justin Haynes, their distinct tactical advantage actually originated away from the batting cages. It came directly from the logistics of life on the road, specifically the 19 consecutive days the team spent living out of hotels. The players were grouped 4 to a room for nearly 3 weeks. In an environment where close quarters usually guarantee friction, there was zero reported conflict. They built absolute harmony off the field, translating directly into a trusting unit on the diamond. That trust allowed their highest performers to thrive. Standout Kylie Kenyon demonstrated this perfectly during the World Series skills competition, stepping to the plate and going a flawless 7 for 7 in the home run derby to establish a brand new tournament record. Take rare individual talent, like Kenyon's perfect derby performance, and pair it with a roster that genuinely enjoys living out of suitcases together. That specific formula generated massive collective momentum as they walked into the Kirkland Championship. That momentum carried them all the way to Saturday's final showdown here in Washington, facing off against a formidable elite squad from the Southeast region. The Southeast team struck early, putting Palocedro in a rare deficit. But in the 4th inning, shortstop Kate Brand connected, driving in a run to finally get Foothill on the scoreboard and break the tension. The offense kept pressing. In the 5th inning, Val Shaw executed a truly crucial play that flipped the momentum entirely, pushing the Palocedro squad into a narrow lead. The Southeast region answered back aggressively, stringing together hits to reclaim the advantage. By the top of the 7th and final inning, Foothill found themselves trailing by multiple runs with their backs against the wall. They refused to go quietly. Josie Kogel sparked a late-game rally, driving in Kenyon and Songer to aggressively close the scoring gap. The rally ended at 6-4. By forcing the game's final out into a high-leverage moment, this Palocedro squad demonstrated they could trade blows with the Southeast elite without fading. A runner-up finish on a global bracket of this scale stands as a historic peak for any Northern California youth program. In Shasta County, the second-place trophy signaled a definitive arrival on the national stage. When the team landed at Redding Regional Airport this weekend, they were met by local police and fire departments, who organized an official sirens-blaring escort through the city. The motorcade led them to Whistle Stop Park, where a crowd of over 100 dedicated supporters, family members, and friends had gathered with posters to greet the returning roster. The celebration spilled over into a massive community afterparty at the Redding Public Market. Residents lined up to interact with the hometown heroes, offering congratulations and showing the young athletes exactly what their run meant to the area. By the time the final celebration wrapped up at the market, the team had done more than play a tournament. They had turned a summer of road games and high-stakes innings into a moment of genuine local pride that pulled the North State together. If you enjoyed this breakdown, click the subscribe button, leave a like, and share the video. And to continue celebrating local stories and honest news, make sure to visit ShastaUnfiltered.com today.